Back in Hyrule, armadillo statues act as the decor for the Eastern Palace, but here in the Dark World, there are gorilla statues in front of the Palace of Darkness. What are you saying, Nintendo? That just gorillas are a dark variation on armadillos? Because that's an outdated and offensive thought, and I'm gonna move on past this topic because I don't see this going anywhere really fast, which is to say, welcome to Linkity Lonk to the past. Boom, a rhyme. Maybe? I think it rhymed. Not good at rhymes. Not going to dwell on that. We're also not going to dwell on gorilla-armadillo relations and their state of affairs, because I would run out of material very quickly, and it'd probably get more unbearable than the current conversation. The words coming out of my mouth, I don't think you guys are enjoying them, but that's up for you guys to decide. Let's just get a move on, and I actually don't need to switch my item yet. I was like, I'm gonna get my magic mirror out and go back into the Dark World, but you can't magic mirror from Light World to Dark World, and I was a fool for thinking that I could do so. What we do need to do, we need to find a warp into the Dark World, which we know that there's one by Hyrule Castle, there's the one by Death Mountain, but there are also other blue warps, like the one on Death Mountain, scattered throughout Hyrule. This is one of the more convenient ones, in my opinion, because it puts you over in this little new area. We couldn't explore this area without getting the hammer, by the way, because you either need the hammer to hammer down those pegs to get by, or to get by this bridge, you have to hammer down these pegs, because the Dark World pegs are these weird little purple things. You know how it goes. So yeah, there are other blue warps scattered throughout the world. We'll be saying them. Whatever, man. And the Light World, this is where our house is. And the Dark World, there's a bomb shop run by an anteater, tubey mouth fellow. Maybe he's our Dark World counterpart. Well, that's actually not how Dark World counterparts work at all. Because in the Dark World, you become a monster by going into the Dark World and it just changes your shape. Whereas having a Dark World counterpart would be like Terminian logic, and this isn't Majora's Mask. Dark World, though, has cool trees. I've always been a big fan of the trees in the Dark World. I know it's a weird thing to be a fan of, but I just always thought they had a nice, neat design. Also, some of them are alive, as you can see by the pupils following us. That is the pupil I'm bad at. I can't into anatomy. But they have neat things to say. Most of the time they'll just be like, hey, step off, bud, why are you bothering me? But this guy was like, hey, I used to be a person like you, but I came to the Dark World, and now I'm trapped here as a tree. You're gonna see a lot of people who came to the Dark World and got trapped here as a tree, because they don't have a magic mirror that can get them out at any time, which is a neat exploration element you'll be seeing me utilize from time to time. Like this cliff. This cliff is just by the forest by Kakariko Village. We've been walking by here since the beginning of the game, but we could not get up to this cliff till we got to the magic mirror. Kind of a neat little doodad of sorts. Oracle of Ages really capitalized on this, well, not to say that it did it better, but it really built on the idea, which would be to say that it did it better, but, you know, this game did it first. That game just improved on an existing idea of, like, going between worlds, although in that one it's past and present. And speaking of forest, I don't believe we've ever actually walked into this little, grassy grove, but it's filled with animals. You got your standard pink bunnies. Lonk knows a lot about pink bunnies, because he was in fact one for a little bit. You got your blue penguin puffin-looking bird, and then you got a fucking ostrich. But if you walk too close, you scare away the animals and their ghostly performer. How weird. And whenever weird things happen, you want to go check them out in the Dark World, right? Like that, you know, that saying that we've been utilizing for a long time, and this isn't just a really bad segue, because you can totally ride this from one location to the... We're just gonna go check out in the Dark World, because there's something here for us. So there's this weird, sad-looking guy. He'll mention he wandered into the Dark World, changed shape, now he's a sad guy. He buried his flute in the grassy grove we just saw, he buried it with some flower seeds, so we're gonna go and dig up all the pretty flowers to find his flute, because he wants to see his flute again. Now, the flute is actually in a set location, so you don't need to sit here and dig forever. I believe it's in this patch of grass somewhere. I always expect like things like this to be randomly generated, because that's kind of a Nintendo-y thing to do. Just have it be randomly generated, but for some reason the flute has a static location, so you don't need to worry about that at all. So we got him his flute. Let's take it back to him, because I'm pretty sure we shouldn't just run off with his flute. We might as well like take it back to him. Unfortunately, he can't play it anymore. But we should go back to the village he lived in, which is Kakariko Village, because come on, there's only one village, and show it to a sleepy old man, but we're going to see him off with one last performance of his ocarina for him. Well, that's sad for you. You didn't even turn into a cool tree. You're just a normal tree. Lame. One thing you're going to notice me do is it is called a flute in game, but I will refer to it as an ocarina because it's supposed to be an ocarina. I mean, just look at it. I have a feeling that they went with the whole, like, calling it a flute thing because, you know, translation, like, hey, people aren't going to know what an ocarina is, so sorry if you knew what an ocarina was before Ocarina of Time, but I had no clue. Over yonder, if you remember, there was the maze game where you could win a heart piece over in the light world. Well, in the dark world, it's a treasure field where you get to dig, and this is actually a pretty nice place to make money. They replace your item with a shovel, so you just come out here and you can dig for money, but more importantly is there's a heart piece somewhere located in this field. Unlike the flute, I don't believe it's statically located. Because I've tried digging in the same place before and have had no such luck. So I normally like to just systematically run through the field and just dig up. You don't really have to worry about moving things out of your way unless it is in fact in your way, because as you'll see, like, where the bush was, you can't dig. You can't dig underneath the skulls. After the game's over, you lose your ability to use the shovel, so you can't just keep digging looking for the heart piece. There'll be none of that. Excuse me. This is a pretty decent. This place is a pretty decent place to grind up rupees. It's not like the most efficient way, because you of course are spending 80 rupees to be able to come and dig. So you only make a profit if you find more than 4 red rupees, which is pretty likely to happen because they pop out pretty often, so you don't really have to worry about that. I said I was going to systematically dig, but I'm having a hard time remembering where I stopped digging last time, so might as well just get our dig on and hope for the best. If I can't find it this cycle, which it is looking likely to... Oh, well, I guess we got our heart piece. Never mind, I was going to be like, if I don't find it this cycle, I'll just keep coming back here and digging over and over and over again until I find it, but that was pretty lucky. I normally seem to have... whenever I find the damn heart piece, it normally seems to be in the last few seconds. Because I remember the last time I played it was really cool, because I, like, dug on the last second. Like, I put the shovel in the ground, and it was, like, just hitting 0, and I was like, fuck, no! And the shovel came out, and the heart piece came, and it was really exciting, and I have it down on my list of achievements in life. So, ignoring the heart piece that we've just gotten, because by ignoring the heart piece, we can get back to the topic that was on hand previously, which is the flute/ocarina. We're going to take it into Kakariko Village, because there's the sleepy old man that we need to show it to. And where else would you find a sleepy old man but a bar? This is actually where you are supposed to go. And you'll see the sleepy old man, and if you've played the ocarina, he should wake up. Gonna wake up? Oh, you have to play it right next to him for him to wake up. My bad. So we saw his son, and he's able to... Oh, wait, no, I want to talk to him again. He's able to accept his son's death, but if you keep talking to him, and by keep talking to him, I just mean talk to him once more, he'll tell you to go to the village square. There's a weather vane there. Play the flute. Maybe something cool will happen. He also says he's sad because his son's dead, or whatever, man. I don't know anything about that. Rebellious teenager, don't have a son. I'm just going to play music for this weather vane bird, and hope for the best. Maybe he will bless us with decorations. Oh my god, what is the directions? Oh my god, I'm an idiot. Decorations. Bird. We freed a bird. That's where this was going. So now whenever you play the flute, this bird will come to your rescue and warp you off to wherever. Pretty neat. Bird looks kind of like a duck. Just because of the long bill. He is a bird, though, I believe. Maybe he's a duck. I don't know. Reason we are coming back to Death Mountain immediately. If you remember, at the Tower of Hera, there was a little plaque next to it that said come back when you have the Master Sword, and we in fact now have the Master Sword, so we'll come back and mess with it and see what's crack-a-lackin'. The bird, I'm really like jumping onto new conversation or new topics. It's not really a conversation because I'm not talking to myself. I'm talking at you guys, but I'm also talking by myself, so it is not a topic. It is not a conversation, but it is a topic. That's not important. Bird. He has set places that he will take you. You can't be like, yeah, I want to go to this square on the map. Fuck yeah. No, you have the standard places that you can go. So don't even think about asking that bird more than he's already doing, because he's already carrying Lonk's fat ass everywhere. Just look at him hobble everywhere. You're a disgrace, Lonk. Now that we have the Master Sword, we'll go ahead and, you know, do a little magic-y thing. Whatever, nothing special. Get the magic of ether / aether / ether. Not exactly sure how it's supposed to be pronounced. I think it's ether. That's how I've always said it, to be honest. Because I think it's derived from aether, but I don't know. I'm a big stupid. So what are we going to do now? I think we'll go ahead and tackle the next dungeon. That sounds good to me. So let's actually, no, we'll go ahead and hop into the Dark World, and I'm going to need the mallet, because as we saw earlier, the nice little warp to the Dark World's over. Actually, no, I'm gonna risk it. I was thinking, oh man, I can go get upgrades for my bombs and arrows, and that will be really fun and cool. But I'll just wait till the end of the dungeon. What's the worst that could happen? If I hit 999 rupees over the course of the dungeon, I'll just cry my eyes out, and that'll be the end of that, and we can all laugh at how sad I am at something meaningless. And ooh, that thing ate my rupee. Wait, did it eat my rupee? I thought I had 367 before. Maybe I walked off screen before it went away, or maybe I picked up a rupee when I wasn't paying attention, which is probably the likely thing. So we're gonna go ahead and be a little ambitious and try and tackle a dungeon in this episode as well. So welcome to the Swamp Palace, and we've already been thwarted. Ladder isn't long enough. If you come up here and talk to this telepathic tile, oh, it is Sarah Hossela who keeps talking to you. It isn't Zelda who keeps talking to you for the entirety of the game. I wasn't sure if she would or not. But Sarah Hossela will go ahead and give you a really good piece of advice and tell you that sometimes things in the Dark World affect the Light World, you know, whole like, oh, things are connected, mumbo jumbo. This isn't a mechanic that's really capitalized on too often. In fact, this is the only time I can really think of that it comes up in this game. But if you remember earlier on in this game, we came in here and we parted the seas, and by that I just mean we pulled the lever and made good things happen. And we are not full up on fairies, which is good because we have a anti-fairy here who will do our bidding and become, oh, I guess he'll just become our health because I managed to fuck that up royally. And I don't know what items we need. We definitely don't need the Book of Medora, but whatever, I'll change it whenever we need the item. That's not a problem. So, yeah, we came in here earlier in the game to part the seas, whatever. But you want to come and go ahead and do it now as well, or you can go ahead and wait and do what you did, or what I did earlier in the game now for, I don't know, speedrunning. Well, speedrunner would probably honestly skip the heart piece because it's not that important. But now that we've filled up the water, we've changed the water level of the water dungeon of this game. I know, getting scared talking about water dungeons. Water dungeons are so scary, you know, they're the worst parts of Zelda games. I actually, as you can probably tell by my stupid sarcasm, I'm an idiot. I'm actually a big fan of water levels. A lot of neat little mechanics come out. They can get really annoying at times, which is, I can agree with people like, oh, water dungeons suck because they can get pretty obnoxious with water in games, especially like the water temple in the original Ocarina of Time. The whole like slow moving because of you have to keep pausing to switch your boots. But I've always been a big fan of the actual puzzles in them. So beyond changing the water level and getting our ass shot by fireballs, one thing you're going to notice is the whole water balls coming out and trying to fly at you. You're going to notice that you are in a lot of danger whenever you're in those shallow pools of water in the swamp dungeon, swamp palace, and I just let a fireball bar kill me because I was thinking about killing a Stalfos for some reason instead of getting a move on like I should, because he doesn't have anything for me. I would see the key in his... Actually, is it this game that you see the key in them whenever they have keys? I don't think it is. I think that's Minish Cap. I don't remember. I am having a total brain fart right now, but it doesn't matter. So yeah, so there's going to be a few water level changing things, and by water level changing things, I mean actually introducing water to a room. And I see you, bombable wall. Don't you try and hide from me. And let's go ahead and get our hammer out, because why the bomb is doing its thing and exploding, we'll go ahead and push this lever, you know, fill the room up with water, get the good stuff happening, and we can see what's in this room over yonder. I have a feeling it's a bonus room. Yeah, nothing going on here unless there's a key. Yeah, nothing going on here for us. Just a little restock room if you needed restocks, and you are a blue Stalfos. You are not a red Stalfos. That is interesting to me, because by this point in the game, blue Stalfos is pretty underpowered. Whatever, dog. I will accept an easy enemy whenever we can. So we're going to be popping back into this room a couple times, because this is kind of like the whole, like, hub room. And as you'll see, there's a big chest up there, but we do not yet have a big key, which poses a problem. Oh, actually, wait, before we go in here, because there's a good thing in here, but I want to check these statues. I'm not sure if we've bumped into these statues yet, but you're going to notice these weird imp-like statues with their tongues out. Always check them, because there's statues just like that in this game somewhere, that you pull on the tongue and something good happens, but I cannot for the life of me remember where. So I'm going to be pulling on every tongue I see, hoping for the best. This puzzle I always thought was an well, it's not really much of a puzzle, but it's just like you walk around in a loop and then you get the compass. This always just really stood out to me as being a weird little thing, because it's not really much of a challenge. You just walk around in a circle and they give you a thing. So I don't know, it's always stood out in my head as being something kind of weird. Since we don't have the big key yet, let's just go ahead and ditch the treasure chest. It's not doing anything for us. Oh, I don't know if we've encountered these things yet, but these little, like, four-cornery, open, hungry hippo-looking thing, whenever you swing your sword, it will shoot a fireball out in the direction that it thinks is the best direction to hit you. So be very careful whenever you're fighting around those, because if you swing your sword in front of it, it'll shoot a fireball at you and make you very, very sad. And I have a feeling that this key has something to do with that hub room we were just in, because we haven't seen a locked door to my knowledge, so there's probably one somewhere up in this room that we haven't seen, and I will accept money, because I'm a big fan of money, and we're going to need a lot of money to complete our upgrade thingies. We're closing in on it. We got 20 more bombs to go if 30 is my max, which I think it is. And I think 50 is my max arrows, so we have both we have 20 more bombs and 20 more arrows. That's interesting, and let's go ahead and just get by here, dog. And the skeleton totally walked through the thing just to hit me. I guess if that's the way he wants to play it, that's the way he wants to play it. And we'll go ahead and just hit the crystal switch, because it's always good to have the crystal switch hit. And now I'm kind of second-guessing myself, because I have a feeling that it shouldn't be easy to get out this way. But we'll go ahead and accept it if the game will let us. If we bump into a red block, though, later on, I'll just get angry, and I'll hate myself, and that's how my life goes every day, so it doesn't matter. Oh yeah, Zoles. I don't think I've mentioned Zoles. This is the Zoles appearance and Link to the Past. We'll be bumping into them from now on. So Zoles are kind of interesting in this game. They like pop out of your shadow and try to attack you, and we're able to go this way, but I need to find out if there's anything happening over here. Can we go through the waterfall? Nope. We'll probably be able to go through a waterfall, and by probably, I mean we'll totally be able to go through a waterfall at some point. Because I remember that happening in this dungeon, especially because, come on, if there's waterfalls, there's always something behind it. It's hiding spot numero uno. Maybe numero doso. I don't know. We're going to go ahead and wait for the fireballs to shoot before we go ahead and get out into this room. The water balls, I don't know if I mentioned it earlier, but they will only attack you if you're on the shallow water. So if you're out of the water, you will not get hit by the water balls. So let's just wait for the enemies, and we'll just charge on through. Don't know which way we need to go, so we'll go left, which probably means that right is the correct direction to go. Hey, a treasure chest, which means not a bad way to go. Is this a bombable wall? It is not. So it looks like we'll be going up there and heading over to the right, and I see the red, so we need to go back and hit the damn crystal switch. So wait, did I hit the crystal switch twice while I was in there without me noticing, and that was a trap? Or maybe the crystal switch is a trap? Weird. Actually, yeah, that crystal switch is totally a trap. That's kind of interesting. Good play, game designers. And I don't have my my sword beams, which is upsetting. And also, since I hit the crystal switch, I gotta go around the other way. Can't take the nice shortcut. Jeez, game designers, way to get me. And that is actually a nice little trap, because it's not much of like a puzzle, but it is in fact a trap. That is the easiest way to describe it. And I do not want to get hit by the fire bar, because we don't have much HP to work with here, and I'm already short one. And I've already abused that skull up there with the heart. I've abused that skull's heart, if you know what I'm saying. And by what I am saying, I picked up the skull and took the heart out from underneath it, which probably constitute as first degree. I don't know what the degrees of murder are, so I'm not even going to pretend that I do know. Because I am in fact a big stupid. That is the easiest way to describe me. I just walked through a fire bar, got hit by a water ball. Jeez, way to mix those things up. And please give me a heart. I appreciate money, but health would be a little bit more appreciatable in my current state. And appreciatable is not a word. And we got the big key, which means we can head over to the big chest and get a good item. Because it's the dungeon item. It's always a good item, right? We're not going to get some shitty, useless item. That would be so dumb. A big, dumb, useless item that nobody even fucking wants. Come on. When do you ever get big, dumb, useless items that nobody fucking wants in a Zelda game? Or when do you get really useful items in a Zelda game that you don't do fucking anything with? Twilight Princess. That is my opinion on Twilight Princess, by the way. But that's enough to chit-chat. Let's get our awesome item. Yeah, I fooled you once, fooled me twice, because we get the fucking hook shot. This is the introduction of the hook shot in the Legend of Zelda franchise. It does exactly what you would expect. Nice little grapply thingy, grapple you over to things. You can kill enemies with it. It is pretty cool. Nice things happen. We get ourselves keys. Excuse me, sorry. Yeah, hookshot, always a nice thing. Also, those jellyfish enemies that we've been seeing, I don't know if we've bumped into them in this dungeon, but we saw them in the Palace of Darkness. You can kill them very easily with the... Oh, well, speaking of the devil, you can kill them very easily with the hookshot, because it does not matter if they are in electric mode or not. Your hookshot will always kill them. So it's pretty nice. It'll always kill them without them shocking you. Also, mind you, that is a good thing to mention. Also, it's cool to mention that the hookshot actually does damage in this game on top of stunning enemies instead of just doing one or the other. So it's a pretty neat thing. And damn it, I was hoping I could get them in the moment before they switched. And please tell me I still have a fairy left. I still have a fairy left. Nice. So yeah, that's the reason why the hookshot. Well, it's not the only reason why the hookshot's awesome, but the hookshot is in fact awesome because of the whole being able to kill those jelly guys pretty easily. And let's go ahead and pull on the tongue. No, is this just a crap room? No, I guess it's just for getting to this room. So I don't know. I always thought this was weird about Link to the Past, by the way. I don't know if I pointed out, but these little passageways that are only big enough for you to pass through, I don't feel like those don't look very good, because it's like that's all you see is just the kind of edging of the walls. And oh yeah, this was totally just a dead end, because we could hop into the water, but we can't dive underneath that door, because come on, diving's a little difficult. We only have flippers. Come on. And I'm going to go ahead and kill you again. Maybe you'll drop something nice. You probably will not drop anything nice. Yeah, just one rupee. Yeah, I was kind of hoping for a heart. That sucks. Go ahead and push this on here, because I believe there's 2 doors. And by I believe, I mean I remember very clearly that there's a door on this side, as we saw. And this door is kind of an anti-puzzle thingy, because you open it by pushing the block over there. I'm not sure if that counts as like an unpuzzle or not. Let's just go ahead and go by you guys, since you're not blocking the door. Thanks, guys. Which puts us on the other side of this lever, and I was about to get really upset with myself if we were actually supposed to be on the other side. I would have been so disappointed, and I'm actually going to keep going on this way before we go backwards. Because you saw that there was the other direction that we could have gone, but then I'll have to push the button again, and that's a minor inconvenience. And wow, Master Sword doesn't kill these damn water skipper things? That's kind of interesting. And oh, actually, I think that other door just takes you back down here, and I'm pretty sure of it, but I'll check just in case. I'm gonna go ahead and hit you, even though I'm pretty sure that... Do the blue ones electrify themselves? Yeah, oh yeah, the blue ones electrify themselves as well. The red ones split up. That's the difference between them. My bad, yeah. So this just is a shortcut to get down there, so you don't have to push that button again. Because I believe we're coming up on the boss, and ooh, Azul, please have a heart for me. I'll take the magic even though I don't need it, just because I was able to show off the cool fucking hook shot. Oh, I'm full of hearts, my bad. I thought I was low on hearts, and why did I actually slap my knee there? That's kind of dumb. So to further kind of show that you could sneak behind a waterfall, they have this whole, like, the same design as the waterfall, but, you know, there's a door here, and then on top of that, if you come over here, you'll see that there's, like, an inaccessible room over there. So this is... I hope this is the only place where the waterfalls, you can walk through them. Oh, and there's all these blocks here, so I'm going to have to push each and every single one of them to make sure that this is, in fact, not an optional thing. Because it's not like we can check the... Oh, my bad. I was shaking my knee, and it might have been moving my desk. I hope that wasn't picked up in the audio, or I haven't been doing that for very long. I'm so sorry. Yeah, I had to push them just to make sure it wasn't a block puzzle, because my Zelda senses were tingling, and I was right, and we got money for it, which is good, because I'm gonna be spending all of this money at the end of this episode, most likely. And by most likely, I mean I can't wait to spend all of this money. It's gonna be really good, and I don't care about you souls. And oh yeah, we're right by the boss room actually. Because if I remember, this is over by the boss room, and unfortunately for us, we're gonna have to take that hit, because these asshole water skippers, we don't have a good way of taking care of them, because we can't hit them because they're technically on a different layer than us. So once they get close to us, you can't hit them with your sword. Maybe a bomb will do the trick? Nope, we have no good way of hitting them. So they're kind of just sitting there waiting for us to jump in so we can get hit. There is an item we could use to get by them. Unfortunately for us, we don't have the item yet. And double unfortunately for us, the game remembers their position where they were standing. So we got fucked. Hopefully there'll be a Zol in here. No Zol. Okay, looks like we're going into the boss with 2 hearts and how many fairies? No fairies! What a perfect happenstance. I'm probably going to end up having to redo this boss. This boss isn't that hard. Say hello to Argus. This boss ended up getting reused to a degree in Majora's Mask, because it's basically the same fight, although he was a mini-boss then. So what you do is you just pull his little puffy cloud things off and then go to town on them with the sword. He doesn't really have a good way of attacking you beyond his whole spinning his puffies around and then trying to get you with them. He will try to walk at you, or well, not walk, because he floats, so he does not, in fact, walk, duh. Be careful of the puffy thingies, because when you pull them off, there's a slight lag to it, but if you stand on them too long, they will hurt you after you pull them off. So I advise moving once you pull them off, so you don't get hurt by them. But you don't really need to worry too much, because this guy's not that difficult of a boss, because as you've seen, or as you can see, we're just able to kind of just beat the shit out of him. Even in the water where we're a bit slower, we're still able to dodge him without too many problems. And I'm not following my own advice here. And I'm just kind of standing there, letting the little puffin stuff clouds, I don't remember what they're called. Well, not what these guys are called, because I don't think they have a name. I was thinking of the enemies from Paper Mario. And, ooh, fuck, he landed on us. So once... Oh, god damn it, we don't have a fairy! Oh, that sucks. That sucks so hard. I'll see you guys back here in a second. I don't know. Is this our first game over? I don't know. I'm mad. I suck. Okay, so be very careful about him landing on you, unless you want to get your maybe first game over. Once you pull off all of his little puffy cloud thingies, he will switch strategies and try to run at you. And unfortunately, I got hit by the puffy cloud thing again, and I foolishly did not bring any fairies, so that is a problem. While I'm waiting for him to get close enough to me, a neat little thing about the hook shot is, I don't know much about the glitches of this game, but there is in fact a glitch with the hook shot. While the hook shot is stretching out, you have invincibility frames. I'm not so much sure if that's a glitch or if it's intentional, but you can totally abuse the fuck out of it. So if you ever feel like you're in danger, just fire off the hook shot and you're fine. Argus isn't that hard of a boss, but he somehow managed to give us our maybe first game over. I say maybe first because you know what they say, memory's first thing to go when you're collecting women and crystals. Whatever. We bested the Swamp Palace, we got a hook shot, episode's over. You're gonna have to wait till next time to see what Crystal Babe Girl's gonna have to say, and by that I mean that would be utterly foolish. Excuse me. So let's see what she has to say. Because of you, you can escape clutches of evil monsters. Yeah, I know that. I've saved multiple people. Triforce grants his wish. Oh, yeah, I know Triforce grants wish. Come on. Also, that's why the Dark World is in fact the Dark World. Used to be the Sacred Realm, but a evil person touched the Triforce, and bad stuff happened. The evil person being Ganondorf, which is kind of an interesting thing, because Ganon is in this game, but this is the first time they use the name Ganondorf, and they're like, oh, Ganondorf, King of Thieves, blah, blah, blah. But you actually don't see Ganondorf in a human form, despite having a human name, the first time being in Ocarina of Time, when you see him as Ganondorf. Because she's like, Ganondorf the Thief, no, Ganon, the evil King of Darkness. Oh, what a name, Evil King of Darkness. And of fucking course I understand, Way of the Hero, I understand completely. So that'll do for this episode. Thanks a lot for watching, putting up with my bullshit, and I'll see you guys next time.